Everybody out there ready? Are we ready again to away we go in another great episode? I'm so excited to have all the hearts and likes and followers and people who have just been rolling along with us for so long. We are so grateful and we love having these shows for you. Are you ready for another one? Are you really? Are you really ready for another one? All right, then, out there. I am your host, Jessica Koch, and this is another Profound Professionals. It is the interview series that has been coming to you for a whopping 9 years. We have interviewed well over 1,000 guests from across the globe. They help improve your personal life or they help you grow your business and maybe even just provide a little entertainment and a little fun. Today, we have an interesting guest like that. He has made a living, it seems, on a little entertainment and a little fun. Drew is with us. He is the former number one ranked Guitar Hero player in the world. And if there's any money in that, my kids would be really upset at me for fussing at them for playing too long on their video games. But currently, he's a founder of Ungambled, right? The
That's
sports
right.
bet hedging app. Okay, so we're going to make this announcement lightly throughout, but and more than once. But we are a podcast. We are here for your fun and your entertainment. We are not giving you medical, legal, financial, or any other kind of advice. And gambling can be an addiction like anything else. So we're not encouraging anyone out there to go lose all your money. And if you have a problem for it, there is a great hotline, 1-800-522-4700. And that is to help people out and families out that they have an issue. But, there's plenty of people out there who go play bingo at their church and they do different things and go out and hold your breath on a lottery ticket. And we do some things for entertainment as responsible adults. So behave as a responsible adult. And let's talk about this really cool and interesting journey that Drew has been on. How's that sound to you, Drew?
Sounds great. Let's do it.
All right. So tell us about your story and your Guitar Hero history and how that led into developing a technology app that's involved in sports.
Absolutely. So I guess I'll start with the Guitar Hero part. Not a whole
You
lot of
can't get
direct.
away since it's part of your introduction. You can't get away with explaining a little bit of that. That's
I know. I put it in there. I knew what I was doing. Um, it doesn't tie in a ton to the business itself, but one area where it does came in was sort of in my expectations for what starting a business would be like.
Mm,
So here's the thing: in order to get to number one as a Guitar Hero player, it took a lot of time and effort, right? A lot of
mhm,
discipline, a lot of grinding, a lot of just put one foot in the other, and you
mhm,
play the same song for 2 or 3 hours in a row in order to get a first place score on it, and then you do
mhm,
that for hundreds of songs, right? It's a big time investment, and it's repetitive, and you kind of have to enjoy the grind and enjoy the process. And so
mhm. And clearly you did.
I did. I did a lot more than anybody else at the time. Although a lot of people today do stuff that I was never close to, but that's kind of beside the point. But as that pertains to business, starting a business is a lot of
Mm,
work. Any way you
mhm,
slice it, it's a lot of work that you probably don't already know how to do if it's your first time
mhm,
starting a business, like it was for me. Um,
mhm,
But back to the app itself, just to touch on that before we get farther in, we do not encourage people to recreationally gamble, which is
mhm,
maybe counterintuitive. Um,
mhm,
Ungambled is about hedging, and I want to give a quick definition of hedging for people who are not familiar with it. Hedging is betting on opposite sides of something at different sports books.
mhm,
So let's say it's the Super Bowl and the Chiefs are playing against the Eagles. At FanDuel, you're betting on the Chiefs. At DraftKings, you're betting on the Eagles. And you do the math and the calculations on how much you bet so that you make a profit no matter who wins, which kind of sounds
mhm.
like a scam at first blush. The thing that makes it possible is that sportsbooks give out bonuses. And by using the bonuses, you can use the strategy to profit. An example would be
Fascinating. So your
let me give
app doesn't
you
allow people to actually bet on any different sport teams or anything. You're giving that, it's sort of like a calculator, right? It's the math
Simple.
behind what you might do on some of these other apps. Is that?
Yeah, exactly. We do all the data processing, all the analysis, all the calculation, and we give you pairs of bets that are on opposite sides of something. And they
Hmm.
use these bonuses. So if you think of it like a credit card or a bank, in
Mhm.
that they're all financial institutions, a credit card might say you get $1,000 or 1,000 miles or something if you sign up for this credit card and you spend about $5,000 in the first 3 months, right? Everybody sees those and you don't really think twice about it. Sportsbooks offer basically the same thing. It's you sign up, they give you $1,000 worth of bonus bets, which you
Mhm.
can't withdraw as cash, but you can use them to bet. And so by using them to bet and then hedging somewhere else, you lock in withdrawable cash. And if you do this throughout,
Fascinating.
right, it's a pretty niche product. But if you do this for all of the legal, recreational online sports books in your state, which it's not legal in every state yet,
No.
but if you do this, you follow this
Yeah, so
process.
we are saying follow the laws, make sure you educate
So
yourself, make sure you are protecting yourself and being responsible in everything you do. Just because drinking alcohol is legal in many states, but you still need to do it very responsible. So we're saying that too. Do you have like a training or a webinar or education on how this works for people who are interested in learning it?
I do. I made sure to invest a lot in educational resources to make sure that
Mhm.
people understand it before they try to do it on their own.
Mhm.
I'm actually a two-time best-selling Udemy course creator, and
Oh,
I have a school
wow.
community with all of the content. So if you want
Okay.
to
So
really
you're on
understand it
Udemy,
first,
you're on Udemy, and you're on school. Now, if they went to Udemy, how would they find you? What would they put in?
sports bet hedging masterclass.
Okay. So sports bet hedging masterclass, and that's on Udemy. And if
Right.
they were to go to school, how would they find you?
It's just ungambled. And that has all of the content that I've recorded around education on betting itself, on hedging, on the bonuses, and on how to use the app in order to profitably hedge these bonuses.
And Udemy is Udemy, and school is actually spelled Skool. So these are two platforms that you can find some education from, Drew. Now, what about a website or to find the direct app? Is it on the Play Store? Is it on the Apple Store? What's the next process if they want to go check out the app themselves?
Just go straight to the website, www.ungambled.com.
So, okay, so just www.ungambled.com is the website, and that's how they find the app.
Yes,
So
you download the app from the website, and it's
from the
ungambled with a D at the end.
Okay, so UNGAMB like boy, LED like day.com.
Right.
Now, it's so you can't find it in the Play Store or the Apple Store on your phone because that's where you
Not yet.
find most apps, right? You're
Yeah.
working through that process, right?
Well, candidly, the main reason it's not in the App Store is we wanted to build it so that we could have one code base and it would work for Apple, Android, and desktop. And
Mhm.
so the app stores don't really like that, but that
Mm,
lets us support people across all devices with just one code base. So
mhm.
for technical reasons, we're not in the app stores yet, but it is on our list.
So they get on their computer or they can get on their phone, but they just have to
Right.
go through the URL, the standard website, not one more app on your phone at the moment.
Right.
But keep an eye out for that coming. I love that there's so much education and information available. Again, you can learn lots of things. Is there education on the website as well, or just on Udemy School?
I have a blog with some more in-depth strategic content, but it's not really for beginners.
Okay, so start with the Udemy and the school places,
Right.
and then take a look at this. So if this is something I mean, just like if you were going to go skiing for fun, skiing, there's a risk, goodness knows, don't ski where there are trees because that could be very one-time risk that occurs, you know, and you know, so just look at this as a space for entertainment and information and education, and a way to look at this opportunity differently, you know. And sports are a lot of fun, you know. Everybody loves their team. Lots is going on with both basketball and football are pretty hot right now, right? Check
Oh
me
yeah.
out. I know something. I see the commercials for basketball, in all honesty, and my son absolutely loves football. So I know that it's currently football season because I think about, when should I call him? Wait, is there a game playing right now?
Not Sunday.
That's one of the things on my mind. So so I love that they're doing this. Is there anything else about the app specifically that you want to share, or the education that you want to share before we move on to some of the other parts of our show?
So I would say the main thing I want to emphasize is, who is the app for? Like I
Okay.
mentioned earlier, we're not really looking for recreational bettors. The
Mhm.
people who can win the most using our product are people who are actually not interested in sports betting, which is a bit counterintuitive. But the idea is, you sign up for sportsbook accounts for the first time, you use all of these bonuses, and within 2 or 3 months, you're pretty much done, and you've won $10,000 or $20,000, and that's just kind of it. You don't hang out and gamble for the long term. It's just, you go in, you collect the bonuses, you win a lot of money, and you go on your way.
Okay, but there is no guarantee. That was an example of his experience. We are making no financial or medical or legal or any other advices or promises. This is just interesting information based on his experience. And to learn more, really check out Udemy and school, to see if this is something that fascinates you as a hobby or of recreational entertainment kind of interest. I think it's really cool that you have done this. I'd love for you to give us a tip, the audience. I think I just gave him the very best one, is go check out his educational programs, because I think it might, if this makes you curious at all, it might excite you to say, I want to check this out even more. I know it has for me, and I am uh, I've never even gone to, pull a slot machine handle one time. Like, I think I can count on one hand how many lottery tickets I've bought in my lifetime. So if it's making me curious, it just might make you curious too, to check it out and look at what's out there. And I know the education on Udemy typically is pretty affordable. And is your school program, is that a paid education program, or is that one that you have some free material and some paid, or how does your school program work?
So just between you and me, if you go onto our Discord
And
and then
everybody who's watching.
exactly, if you direct message me, I will give you school access for free. And then
Oh,
if you go to the website ungambled.com, we actually have free coupons to the Udemy courses.
oh,
So
cool. Well, that is some secret information. So
mhm.
if you watch this podcast, you just might have earned yourself some free education. I'm loving that. I'm definitely going to have my husband check it out. He's going to think I'm crazy at first, but we're always looking at new and interesting ways to make, um, you know, there's always possibilities that money can work for us. And you never know, and there's no guarantee. It is a risk, but yeah, we take a risk when we get out of bed in the morning. On some level, like, whatever hobby you have, there's a
Well,
risk
deep
involved.
existential insight.
So, be smart, be wise, do your research, do your homework, make decisions best for you. But what a fun and interesting thing that you brought to us, and I so appreciate that, Drew. So, okay, so give us a tip.
My tip. So going back to starting a business, now that AI is as prevalent as it is, it's as easy as it will ever be to start a business. You
Mhm,
can do so much stuff with tools that cost $10 or
mhm,
$50 a month. But the $50 a month you pay are, instead of hiring someone for like
mhm,
thousands of dollars a month.
mhm,
So as long as you can wrap your head around, like, I need to create a thumbnail for an online course, you type that into AI, you just have a thumbnail. You don't have to
mhm.
pay a contractor to do that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my tip. Start using AI, especially if you want to start a business, because it's incredibly easy, as easy as it will be. I won't say it's objectively easy, but
Well,
it's
I
as good
mean,
as you're going
truth be told, it almost the AI is getting so good, some of it from an engineering standpoint, even that it can darn near close write the code to create an app, if not do it. Like someone's like, oh, I don't know how to make a GPT. I'm like, well, I just told ChatGPT what I wanted. I told it to make the GPT and it made me a logo, an
to.
image, and uploaded it and put it there. And I made a GPT without really knowing how to make a GPT because I know what to, if you know what to tell it, then here's what I tell people about AI all the time. Um, its limitations are very, very much connected to the limitations of our imagination. If we can imagine it, it's it's probably possible, or it
Mhm.
will be very soon. I feel like if a human being can, like, look, we decided, I wonder if it's possible to go to the moon. Well, guess what? I know
Here we
there's
are.
a debate out there on some of that with some of you guys. Not sure that we've been to the moon, but I'm thinking we've been to the moon. So I'm pretty sure if we can imagine it, we can at some point achieve it. And that is what is happening in the space of AI. It's really powerful, and really our own limitation is what's standing in our way, which is so fascinating. So more than ever before, we need to think like children, without limits, without boxes, without lines, way outside of the lines. Um,
Love it.
so I love that you gave that suggestion. How about, I'm very proud that our show is always connected to a cause. So do you do anything with a cause with your app and your education, or who are you and how are you supporting?
So I don't do anything through my business, but I have been a donor to the Wikimedia Foundation since like 2015 or so. I just love Wikipedia as a product. When I was growing up, like if I wanted to learn something that was off the wall, I would go straight to Wikipedia, right? Like obviously in school you're learning,
Mm,
important stuff, but a lot of the time it's like I want to read about the bands that I like
mhm,
or actors or whatever. And Wikipedia was always my go-to spot. And so as an adult, once I started making income, it's a nonprofit, like you said. So I was like,
mhm.
let me make sure I'm doing my part to keep you guys around.
I love that. That is a cool, it's such a cool concept and resource of information for people. And I love that, we it can also actually, as a business owner, can give you a presence. I mean, you could write your own page on your company, your business. You can, or upgrade and update the information that's on there about you, to make it more accurate, which I think is just a lot of fun and really brilliant. It is one of those things you want to fact check, from time to
Yeah.
time, because of how it's designed. But what an interesting and creative idea, right? That someone had one day.
I love it.
And there it is. And there it is. So I love that you shared that one. It's one of the nonprofit causes that no one's ever shared before. And part of the reason we do this is to inspire someone to give time, treasure, or talent, to and spread some awareness about the causes our guests share. But maybe it's just to help remind you that you have a cause that is very close to your own heart. And life has been busy, you're getting ready for things, you're doing things, the family, whatever happens, and then we get out of touch sometimes with the causes we love. So give them a ring, reach out, find out what they need, see if you can, volunteer or support again, and do what makes your heart light up. Or maybe give some money to Wikipedia today. Who knows? Or donate some time and check out some of the sites and upgrade and update things or add things to it that you know about, that would be appropriate, based on how they run that. So that's cool. Thank you. I am a big fanatic of books. They're all around me. I like audiobooks. I like written books. I'm not a big fan of the digital book. I love trees, so I promise I plant them. And I get secondhand books, and I recycle my books and gift them forward, and I do all the good things. So I'm not hacking down trees, but I really love real paper and the smell of a book. So how about a book that inspired your personal life or helped you grow your business, Drew?
So my favorite book that really, in a lot of ways, spurred my desire to start the business is called Anti-Fragile. It's by
Mhm.
Nassim Taleb. And it's a very difficult book to read, and I don't want to drift too far down the rabbit hole of like trying to describe
Sure.
the level of complex ideas to your audience. But the gist of it is anti-fragility is kind of the principle behind like no pain, no gain, or you need to
Mm.
make sacrifices in pursuit of goals.
Mhm.
And that really sort of resonated with me because going from a corporate environment to starting a business, which I'd never done before, you're
Mhm.
going to have to do things differently than you had been in order to get different results. And so you're going to have to get outside of your comfort zone, and you're going to have to sacrifice some things you are doing for different things that you want to start doing. And that book
Mhm.
really sort of tied it together and gave me like a mental framework to begin that journey based off.
Well, you know what? One of the things you're doing right now, jumping on podcasts and being a guest on shows with someone you've never met before. So
Not a thing I was doing 5 years ago.
about 80% of the guests, believe it or not, that I interview live, when I interview live them, that's the first time I've met them and heard their story. And so it's really exciting, but that is an out of the comfort zone thing to do. You didn't know anything about me or my personality or how I would move forward or how I would work with you or how I would interview or the questions I would ask you and so that takes courage to take those steps. So you're doing some great things there, Drew, and
Appreciate
hopefully I
it.
wasn't too terribly scary.
Oh, this is an easy one.
Yeah, this is an easy one. I try to make our show something people super enjoy. And matter of fact, in 9 years, some of our guests have come back 3 and 4 times because things have changed in their business or they had a new announcement or something to update. And we just had so much fun the first time they came back again. And that's like one of the biggest compliments that I ever get and really just collaborating even more with our guests and our speakers on other projects and programs and things. So now we're going to talk about you may be organizing with all these things you've built, with all this education and courses and programs and training and the app and as you move forward to take the app through its next steps you might be binding something together possibly in the future. Is that so?
That's true. I'm looking to compile a lot of the uh, quantitative finance research I've done on sports
Yeah.
betting and put it all together in a book for a more technical reader. Um, I don't think most of the subject matter is going to be super interesting to a lot of people, but an example of what would
You'd
be in
be
the book is
surprised.
how to hedge a 3 leg parlay optimally with the fewest number of total bets. I'm
And what
really
a three-leg parlay is. The definitions will also be in this book in the back, I promise. But it's fascinating because it reminds me of someone teaching someone the intricacies of the real estate market in different parts of the country, or the
Mhm.
intricacies of the stock market, and the differences in the different ways to invest there, and what that all looks like. Because I mean, let's face it, there's a little bit of dice rolling, in my opinion, at least,
There
on
is.
that whole process too, right? And everybody knows that you need to get an expert and work with an expert, and it's still volatile, and you could be with the best expert on the planet, and you can win, you can lose, we don't know, you know that's how it goes. And
That's
so it
right.
reminds me very much of that. And there's a lot of books out there like that, and the terminology and the sciencey mathical conversational things that are happening in those books. Some people would say, oh, that I think that's boring, but I don't think. The people who pick those books off the shelf, they're going and they're selling, and it's because people are interested, and there are people who think like that and want to know more, or who don't completely think like that and would like to begin to understand enough to do something in those spaces. So I think it's fantastic that you're writing this and that you're pulling this together and that you're sharing this little picture of this thing that you've discovered with the world. Um, you know, So very, very cool. I've had a blast interviewing you, Drew. I hope you've had a good time too. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Had a great
Okay.
time being here with you.
That's wonderful. And if you're out there thinking, wait, I'm developing apps, I'm building websites, I've got trainings, I've got education, I've got courses, I've got books, I should be on this Profound Professionals show. Well, come on, reach out to me and my team, and we'll tell you just how to get yourself booked on the show. And we'll be happy to feature you. All right. So before we say goodbye today, though, let's share a final thought, Drew, some information or inspiration as we go today.
Final piece of inspiration, sort of tying everything together, is there are a lot of people out there who are right at the cusp of starting something new, whether it's a business venture or it's towards the end of the year, maybe it's starting to work out for the first time again. You just got to take the first step. You just got to get over the hump, just start doing it and stick to it and see it through. That's my inspiration.
I love that. Thank you so much again for being on the show. That is great. Be consistent and stick with it. That is a fabulous closing statement and remarks. So until next time, you guys out there, I am your host, Jessica Koch. This has been Profound Professionals. And until the next one, be kind to yourself out there and be kind to each other. Bye, everybody.